So Nashida wants to build an outdoor kitchen, going to place patio stones. Follow along now, okay, guys? So put your conversations on hold for a bit. Shown to the right, the patio stones are in the shape of a square that's 18 by 18. So if you picture every single, we can do that here. Every single patio stone is 18 by 18, and that's inches, right? And they cost $3 each. A, determine the number of patio stones that you need. Show your work. Just the number of patio stones, that's all it cares about. What about the $3? This is just part A, right? Doesn't ask for the cost just yet, so it's probably going to come in handy later on. Here's where you just need to know this is an irregular shape, so slice it up. Area 1, area 2, I will find the total area because you're covering that with stones, right? So you want to have the area. So total area would be area 1 plus area 2, right? Area 1 is what? Length times width, so 24 times 9. Plus area 2 is 18 times 12. Okay, so you figure that out. I don't have the key for this one because I just don't know where I left it. 216 plus, oh, it's 216. So 532. And we are in square feet, correct? 432. Off by 100. Like, what's the big deal? Thank you. 432. I was just checking if you're awake. It's important, but we're not there yet. So now I need to find the area of a stone, right? And it's 18 times 18. Okay, 18 times 18. But that's inches, so I'm going to do the trick where I divide it by 12 right away. So it's this length times width. So the way you want to do it, that's up to you. 18 divided by 12 times 18 divided by 12. Okay? So that's 2.25 square feet for each stone. Let's say this. You get half a mark for the total, half a mark for, no, 1 mark, because you have to do some converting there. And then I'll give you half a mark for figuring out how many you need. So this is 432 divided by 2.25. That's 100. Oh, that's a round number. Perfect. If not, you had to round it, right? So you get a half mark for this. So 2 marks in total for this question. All right. So there we go. I hope you were able to navigate this one. There are different ways of doing this. I know that. And however you chose to do it, that is totally fine. Okay. Next. So I'm going to keep that 192 up on the corner. You need to buy a grill, a countertop, and a patio set for the outdoor kitchen. So you have from the grill, you've got 2 options. I'm gonna go cheap, right? 1,400, 2,700, 600. That's what I did. Because if you read this already, what's my limit on spending? Maximum 11,000, right? So I want to make sure I don't have to worry about it. So I'm just going to go with the lowest price all the time. Now, you must buy 3 of the following items. I'm going to go with a single burner, a 30-inch cabinet, and a small drawer. So those are the 3 things that I'm going to choose to add to my, okay? What if it said at least 3? You have to do 3 or more, right? So at least 3. So if it ever says that, or no more than 3, you could do 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so the wording, don't let that throw you off too much. So here we go. Let's do the spending now. So how about the grill? So we're going to add the grill plus the countertop plus the basic patio set. plus I spent 400 on a single burner, 700 on a cabinet, 800, and so this will be very dependent on what you've done. I get 6,600 out of this already. So I'm well under my 11,000, so I don't worry about it. These are my choices, okay? My choice. Next, what else do I need to figure out? Because it says total cost plus GST PST of the patio stones and the components that you chose up here. So for the stones, you're going to go 192 times $3 each. That you should all have. This number right here, we should all have the 576 in our calculation. So we'll say this. I'll give you half for adding up all of the components. I'll give you half for figuring out the cost of the stones. And then this part is going to get you 1 mark. So the total is going to be 6,600 plus 576, and that's going to be multiplied by 1.12. So this is 7176 times 1.12. 8,037 and 12 cents. So that's going to get you a full mark because you're adding taxes. Usually when the province asks you to add taxes, that is usually worth a mark, okay? So my answer is this. I really don't care. I would just be checking that you pick 3 from the top, that you pick 3 from the bottom row. And I would have to check. I had a spreadsheet. This was an old provincial exam. So I just had a spreadsheet and I just selected what you picked, and then it would give me this. And I would make sure you got it right. And then this, everybody should have this. Of course, if you made a mistake up in A, then you get a different answer. You don't get deductions. You would have lost in A, but not in B. And then the last step is to add taxes, right? So we all will have a different number here. So 2 and 2, this is a 4-mark AC. Okay, so just make sure you have somewhere on this paper your first and last name and the marks out of 4. Any questions before I stop this video? No questions? Is this, do you think this is outrageous if this happened on an exam? I think it's very, very doable, okay? What if, let's just do a what if here. What if I asked you to paint the walls of this room? And the room has a height of 9 feet. How would you find the surface area of the walls? You remember? Did I tell you the trick? Well, this was grade 11. Or did I tell you the perimeter times height? This year or last year? This year? Perimeter times height of irregulars. It actually works for any size, any room. Like if you just want the walls, you can do perimeter times the height, and then you've got that. So if that happened here, this is a classic example of add up the perimeter and multiply it by the height. But don't forget, when you do the perimeter, this little piece here, you would have to figure it out based on 24 and 18, right? That's 6, so this would be 3 and 3, something like that. So you got to watch out for those little things. One more thing. What if there was a door and 2 windows? What would you have to do with those areas? Subtract, right? And if it wanted 3 coats of paint, multiply your surface area by 3 or by 2, whatever coats. So I could use this one and just throw the same diagram and just make it a different question. I would hope you would know what to do, okay? There's a lot of the find the area of the big thing. Like, remember the cylinder with chocolate? That was a cylinder. And then how much was it to make just one little thing? And then you have to divide them to see how many you can actually produce, right? So things like that, that's a very classic example of what you can expect in this unit. All right.